So the World Updates tweet says, breaking, more than 20 global giants now led by Indian origin CEOs. And they have the CEOs of Alphabet, Google, Microsoft, YouTube, Adobe, World Bank Group, IBM, Infosys, NetApp, Palo Alto Networks, Arista Network, Novartis, Micron Technology, Honeywell, Flex, Wayfair, Chanel, Cognizant, Vortex Pharmaceuticals, Procter & Gamble, T-Mobile, Molson Coors, FedEx, Zscaler, and Microsoft Gaming. And this guy, think of just how improbable it is for this many global companies to select Indians as CEOs by pure merit. For this to happen, Indians would have to be so much more competent than whites, Asians, Jews, etc., that they dominate all measures of performance. Instead, the highest rank ICPC International Programming Contest, India's 59 out of 144. Highest performance on PISA, International School Testing, 73 out of 74. Number of notable Indian game studios, 0. Number of globally recognizable megacorps originating in India, 0. Number of academic Nobel Prizes won by Indians in India in the last 25 years, 0. Now repeat this test for whites or Asians and you'll get the exact pattern you would expect. Indians simply took over these companies through nepotistic fraud on a scale that few are able to comprehend. When you learn about the ISAT culture, it makes a bit more sense. And I think there were some new words that came out. Mr. Obvious post here. Hacker 4chan exposes the Indian concept of Jugaad exploiting and Dahanda and Chori Chakari, which basically boil down to scamming and repeated thievery like raiding food banks, which is considered acceptable in India. I thought Izat was bad, but it keeps getting worse. There was somebody that like reposted this picture here, and they were like, ha, the chuds want you to believe that this is a problem, but they cropped the picture. There's actually white people there too. And there's 3 white people in the front of the line because I guess they got there insanely early. And it's like, that actually doesn't help your case whatsoever. Someone said, this is the queue for the University of Galway Students' Union Food Pantry, where genuinely needy students can get some basics. The entire queue, as far as I can tell, is Indian. Well, there was 3 right people in the front. And someone else said, this is like the worst example of our Indian concept of Jugaad. Dishonest, conscious bending of the rules and laws to one's favor. Coming up against institutions set up for only working with high-trust societies. It honestly makes me ashamed to see this because I can see this behavior in India as well. And it clearly doesn't change when large numbers of our people are transplanted into high-trust societies. This is the kind of thing that will slowly but deeply create anti-India sentiment in these societies. And someone else said, not slowly. And then someone on 4chan said, you know about Izat, but are you familiar with the Indian concept of Jugaad? Jugaad is the Indian term for hacks to exploit the system, or the dishonest and deliberate bending of the rules and laws to one's favor. In India, such underhanded and self-serving behavior is celebrated, especially among the upper and middle classes. It can also mean doing the bare minimum to get by, which is why Indian cooking, craftsmanship, etc. is so terrible. Well, kind of share the craftsmanship thing with China at this point. It often, but not always, is paired with the concept of dahadna, which Indians will often tell you is simply maintaining a small business or self-employment, but in reality refers to illicit practices and immoral occupations. Another concept to know is chori chakari, which refers to repeated acts of petty thievery, such as taking food from food banks, which are acceptable within Indian culture. They all dress exactly the same. I don't know, that guy's not wearing a black jacket. 4 years of working with Indians has made you vehemently want them out of your country. I remember when everyone's immediate thought of an Indian person was like Apu from The Simpsons, or like, you know, a nice like business owner guy. And then after they did the whole, that's racist, we can't have Apu in The Simpsons, it all went downhill from there, buddy.